Hello everyone, welcome to lesson number 4 in my series entitled Learn the Basics of French. My name is Anton Kunin. So what we'll do today, we'll learn some numbers, then we'll look at other ways to form questions, and we'll also take a portion of grammar that is articles. Okay, so let's get started. And the first thing we'll do is this exercise. So we'll review what you already know, the nationalities, the languages, and the jobs we've learned. So in this activity, you have a picture. So you have a flag of a country and a picture representing a job. And you have the name of the person. So for example, here we have Marc, and what you have to say is Marc est français, il parle français, il est entrepreneur. So you say the nationality of the person, you say the language that they can speak logically, and you say the job, judging from the picture. Okay, so let's try to do that. I'd like you to think of this picture. So what would you say to describe this picture? So my answer is John est américain, il parle anglais, il est médecin. Let's also look here. What do you think will the answer be here? My answer is Jacqueline est canadienne, elle parle anglais et français, elle est professeure. Okay, let's look at this picture. So what can I say about this woman? So I would say Emma est allemande, elle parle allemand, elle est vendeuse. And finally, this lady. What can you say about her? So my answer here is Cristina est espagnole, elle parle espagnol, elle est étudiante. So let's move on. Let's look at this exercise. For the moment, I would only like you to look at the exercise at the top of the slide, here. So here you have 6 sentences, and I'd like you to complete each of them with a word from this list. Okay? So just choose a word that fits and place it in the correct gap. So now I'd like you to take a sheet of paper and pause the recording, and please do this on your own. Okay, I think that you already have the answers, so let's see what I have. These are my answers. These are the correct answers, so please compare them to what you have. And now let's try to do this exercise as well, the one at the bottom of the slide. So again, the task is the same, you just have different sentences, so please do this as well. Okay, let's compare the answers. This is how I did it. These are my answers. I hope that you did it in the same way. If you did, you are correct. Great. So moving on, let's speak about the notions of morning, afternoon, and evening. So in French, it is matinée, après-midi, soirée. So let's say it together with the articles, and I'd like you to repeat now. La matinée, l'après-midi, la soirée. Great. And you see that we also have approximate times. So matinee, morning, is something from 6 in the morning to midday. Then the afternoon in France would be from midday to, let's say, 6 o'clock. Okay, and the evening it's from 6 o'clock till, well, till midnight, if you wish. Okay, so let's continue. And why did we learn this? We learned it because it's also a common way to say goodbye. So you already know that you can say au revoir in order to say goodbye, but you can also say this. In the morning you can say bonne journée, like I wish you a nice day, have a nice day. Then bon après-midi, and finally maybe in early evening you can say bonne soirée. This is very common in France. You will hear it every time you talk to French people, and it's really worth knowing and using yourself. Okay, now let's take a look at the numbers. Numbers and digits. So in French it will be chiffres and nombres. Les chiffres et les nombres. So I'll read these numbers first. So just compare what you can hear through the spellings. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so as you see, I marked some of them in purple. So 17, 18, and 19 are marked in purple. And why do you think that is? What is so different about them? And this is that those numbers are formed differently. So they are not one word, but it's a compound word, compound numeral. So it's like 10 plus 7. And to take another example, if you want to say 18, it will be 10 plus 8, 18. So basically do some math here. 17, 18, 19. There will be more numerals like this in our next lesson, but for now, we'll only look at those ones. So now I'd like to read all of it again and try to repeat after me. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so let's move on. Here we have some theory about forming questions. So as you remember from our past lesson, we looked at this. For example, vous dormez, dormez-vous? Tu écoutes, écoutes-tu? So we just swapped the places of the subject and the predicate, and that was it. But in some cases, we also have te here, like let's take this example. Il parle arabe. Parle-t-il arabe? Or if you look here, il habite à Nice. Habite-t-il à Nice? So we have te here and here. And now I'd like to ask you this. Why do you think this te is present here? Well, in fact, that is because here you have vowels. So vowel at the end of this verb and vowel at the beginning of this pronoun. And the same thing here. So vowel here, vowel here. Actually, it's called hiatus, but well, you don't have to remember this word, this term. It's just a situation where we have a vowel at the end of one word and at the beginning of another. So it's not comfortable to pronounce, is it? And that's why we have this te. So it just is there in order to make life easier. So it's just easier to pronounce it like this. Okay, parle-t-il arabe? Habite-t-il à Nice? I hope that you can find more examples in the future, and don't forget about this small phenomenon, this te that appears in some cases.